The sunrise in Africa brings no peace. Beneath the calm surface of the water, or behind this barren mound, the slightest misjudgment of distance, a moment of carelessness, is enough to determine who will survive the day. It's often believed that in nature, the one with the biggest fangs always wins. We think lions are born to dominate. Crocodiles are an inescapable terror. But the harsh reality is much more extreme. No predator dominates every battlefield. One wrong step into another's territory, one careless disregard for the pack's boundaries, the hunter can easily become the one fleeing in desperation. Imagine yourself in the midst of that harsh savanna. When hunger gnaws at your body, when you're isolated, surrounded by enemies, and behind you a weak, crying cub, will instinct be enough to save you? Fangs are useless against an army, and speed becomes superfluous when you're cornered in deadly waters. Here, every strength has its limits. In this battle for survival, nature does not crown any species permanently. You are about to witness the most brutal reversals, where prey defies death, and where the rulers pay the price in blood. Ultimately, what truly determines the survivor when the tide turns against them? The first turning point began not with the roar of a lion, but with a slow, stealthy step close to the ground. A honey badger was heading straight into the most dangerous place it could choose, the den of African wild dogs. Here, its keen sense of smell picked up a survival signal. The smell of leftover meat scraps, milk, damp fur, and the scent of young. The honey badger is an opportunistic omnivore. For it, a secluded den is a free meal, a chance to survive the harsh dry season. It crawls deeper, following the trail of easily accessible nutrients left behind. But for the pack of wild dogs, this is an intrusion into the most vulnerable part of their entire family structure. The panicked cries of the young have torn through the silence of the savanna. The pack of African wild dogs has returned. And they never fight alone. The honey badger was immediately surrounded. Thanks to its extremely thick and supple skin, the honey badger can twist its body even when bitten, launching sharp counterattacks. But sheer tenacity is not enough against an organized army. The pack of wild dogs moved in circles, taking turns closing in, biting, and retreating rhythmically, wearing down the intruder's strength. The honey badger realized a fatal truth. It could not defeat an entire pack of predators in the open. It used the narrow entrance of the cave as a natural shield, completely neutralizing the advantage of the wild dog's multi-directional attacks. Its reckless instinct led it to its death, but it was its tactical calculation of the terrain that kept it alive. The battle is over. There was no clean victory here. The honey badger left with an empty stomach and a body covered in bite marks. Behind it, the pack of wild dogs still preserved the lives of future generations. Stubbornness can help you endure pain, but in nature, blind bravery doesn't make you invincible. To survive, a creature must know exactly when to attack and when to retreat. This battle is just one part of the brutality. In the south, amidst the fiery cauldron of the Kalahari Desert, another lesson of survival is being written in blood. This time, the victor will have no thick skin, no large fangs, and no individual strength whatsoever. their only weapon, will be standing together. Welcome to the Kalahari. In a place where anything can kill you, foraging always comes with the price of vigilance. These ground squirrels weigh only about 1 kilogram each. Defeating desert predators with individual strength is a pipe dream. But they don't survive by muscle. They survive by a highly organized social system, where there's always a sentinel willing to sacrifice their feeding time for the safety of the entire group. A black-backed jackal was approaching. Its target wasn't the entire pack. It only needed a moment of panic, a weak, inexperienced individual, or a misstep. But when the warning cry rang out, a strange phenomenon occurred. Instead of scattering in all directions, the ground squirrel pack immediately retreated to the edge of their burrow. The young were quickly hidden underground. The adults huddled together, standing upright, their fur bristling, and continuously emitting threatening hissing sounds. Instead of being individual prey, they transformed into a living wall. So, the jackal charged, but it encountered a sophisticated defensive tactic called mobbing. The ground squirrels had no intention of killing their enemy. Instead, they took turns lunging forward, biting stealthily, and then retreating immediately. The predator was trapped in a psychological maze. Every step forward was hampered by deafening noises and small but irritating bites from all directions. But nature isn't a movie with a perfect ending. A young individual, out of sync, fell into the jaws of a predator. That was the harsh price of survival. Nevertheless, the furious resistance of the entire pack immediately afterwards created immense pressure. The black-backed jackal realized one thing: staying even a second longer in this area was too risky a gamble. It was forced to leave, abandoning a pack of ground squirrels that had suffered a loss, but had successfully protected all their young deep in their burrow. The jackal didn't leave because it was physically weak. It retreated because the cost of the hunt had become too high. In nature, sometimes victory isn't defined by whether you finish off your enemy. Victory is making your enemy understand that taking another step will cost them dearly. The ability to unite as a single force is the ultimate weapon. But collective strength isn't exclusive to small creatures. In the Masai Mara grasslands, a massive army is proving that when an entire community turns its back, even the king of the pack trembles. The sunrise in Masai Mara possesses a serene beauty, but it is always a deadly silence. A herd of wild buffalo is heading towards a water source. Amidst these giant living tanks, the young calf is the weakest link. The lions, hidden in the tall grass, are not in a hurry to charge. Their goal is not to confront the strongest buffalo. What they are calculating is the fragile distance between the mother buffalo and her calf. Lions understand that their timing is measured in seconds. They launch an attack not to kill instantly, but to sow chaos. The tactic here is extremely brutal: to break the buffalo herd's formation, create blind panic, and force the calf away from its mother's protection. The lion's claws were firmly embedded in its prey. The calf's cries for help pierced the air. That sound, overcoming all chaos, struck directly at the mother buffalo's instincts. Without hesitation, the mother buffalo turned against the current and trampled. A devastating blow from her massive muscles forced the lioness to release her prey and retreat in astonishment. But the mother buffalo alone could not withstand the entire pride of lions waiting to pounce. At that very moment, a miracle of nature occurred. The ground shook as dozens of adult buffaloes returned to provide assistance. A lion can easily defeat a stray calf. But before a massive, tightly packed wall of horns, the claws of the ruler of the grassland become meaningless. The roles have been completely reversed. From proud hunters, the pride of lions is cornered and forced to retreat in defeat, saving their own lives. The calf survived today not only because of its mother's bravery. It survived because the chances of survival were much higher when the young were sheltered within the protective embrace of a large herd. One day, if it lives long enough, that same calf will stand within that colossal wall of horns to protect a new life. However, there is one place where even this invincible wall of horns must bow its head in caution. A place where all footprints of power on land must cease, and rulers must confront something they cannot see: the boundary of the water. Water is the source of life, but in Africa, the water's edge is also the boundary of death. After a long night, the lions are forced to descend to the riverbank to quench their thirst. This is not a rash decision, but a necessary trade-off for survival. Seen from the shore, the calm water conceals no danger. But hidden beneath the murky water, nature's most patient ambusher lies in wait: the Nile crocodile. Carelessness begins with a moment of inattention. The vulnerable cub has strayed from the pack's protection, venturing deeper into danger. For the lion cub, all it sees is cool, refreshing water. But for the crocodile, the slightest vibrations across the surface are an invitation to a bloody feast. This ancient predator doesn't need speed on land. Perfect motion perception and absolute stillness are its ultimate weapons. There was no warning. The water splashed as the crocodile's jaws snapped shut in an instant, sinking into the lion cub and dragging it down into the deep river. The heart-wrenching cries for help triggered maternal instinct. The lioness plunged straight into the murky water, roaring and tearing furiously. But the river was not a meadow. When the water reached shoulder level, all invincible strength, all the dominant power of the savannah lord was stripped away. Here, the crocodile was the lawmaker. In a desperate attempt, the lioness bit into the crocodile's hindquarters. The bite wasn't fatal, but it was enough to disorient the ambusher. As the crocodile turned, the angle of the bite changed, creating a vital opening. The cub slipped from the sharp jaws. The lioness immediately pulled her cub far away from the water's edge, back to dry land. The territory had changed hands, and the crocodile didn't pursue them ashore, knowing full well the limits of its power. No triumphant victory was declared, only a life snatched from the brink of death. The lion cub may not fully understand what just happened, but its body and scars have etched this lesson into its memory. The water is never a still mirror. It is a memory of pain. The bloody battles in the dens of wild dogs, in the Kalahari desert, or on the banks of this deadly river, they are all inseparable. Every battle converges on a colossal survival machine, the Okavango ecosystem, where every creature, from the strongest to the weakest, is merely a fragile link in the chessboard of creation. These life or death battles don't exist in isolation. They are small cogs in a great survival machine called the Okavango. This isn't just a beautiful inland wetland. It's a living ecosystem, driven by cycles of floodwaters, grass, blood, and a harsh balance. Here, no species can survive alone. Every step, every hunt, directly impacts the surrounding ecological network. The lions of the Okavango can't rely solely on brute strength. They've been forced to evolve their behavior, learning to read water directions, utilize mudflats, and ambush from narrow grassy islets. Here, the hunter must understand the terrain more than brute force. Meanwhile, African wild dogs prove that discipline is their most fearsome weapon. Their muzzle-to-muzzle isn't about emotion, but about the synchronized teamwork of an army. When a pack of wild dogs disappears, what's wiped out isn't just the individuals, but an entire system of hunting memories, territorial experience, and pack culture built up over generations. The Nile crocodile is a chilling reminder that not all predators need speed. Absolute patience beneath the still waters is the greatest fear. But shaping this waterway is a creature that is not at all carnivorous: the hippopotamus. The hippopotamus's strength comes from its size and extreme territoriality. Each of its enormous strides opens pathways through the swamps. Its droppings provide organic matter that sustains microorganisms and fish. A waterway without hippos would lose its core biological rhythm. But that sophisticated network is facing a fanged enemy: humanity. Regulating water flow, expanding agriculture, climate change, and man-made barriers are stifling the natural cycle. When floodwaters arrive late, pastures dry up. Buffalo herds are forced to change course. Lions are driven closer to human settlements, and the survival corridors of wild dogs are cut off. Breaking one link puts immense pressure on the entire machine. Night falls over Okavango. No major battle is needed to feel the impending death. Every living creature stands on a tightrope. One mistake, one misstep, and the entire system will tremble. Here, every species is strong for a moment, and every species becomes weak once that moment passes. No crown lasts forever in nature. In nature, there is no concept of right or wrong, cruelty or heroism as humans often imagine. Crocodiles are not evil. Lions are not brutal. Weasels do not fight for glory, and honey badgers do not act recklessly to prove their greatness. All of them, from the strongest to the smallest, are doing only one thing that nature demands: to survive another day. Nature never grants absolute power to anyone. It only gives opportunities to those who know how to adapt. A king of the grasslands must still bow before the deep water. A river monster cannot chase its prey on land. And a lone individual, no matter how strong, can be crushed by a united group. In Africa, survival never belongs to the strongest. It belongs to those who understand their own limits and live long enough to learn from their wounds. And when night falls on the savannah, the hunt doesn't end. It only changes roles, directions, and the one waiting in the shadows.